Anthony Yarde and David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a highly accomplished fighter at 175 and 168. Mostly at 168 is where he has campaigned and made his bones. And Anthony Yarde at 175, very talented, 34 years old. David Benavidez, 28 years old. David Benavidez, he has beaten some worthy champions over the years. And Anthony Yarde, his only real loss is to Sergey Kovalev. And Kovalev was a pretty big puncher at the time. And, it was a good fight. It was a very, very good fight. And he lost to Arthur Beterbiev as well. So, what's good? Just stopping by real quick. I appreciate that. Thank you, justdraw.com. I appreciate you stopping through, tuning into the live. This is one you're going to definitely want to come back to and give your take in the comment section, that is, because I know you said you can't be here too long. But I appreciate you stopping by. David Benavidez has an excellent long jab. He does a good job with his feints. He's working on that. Him and Andre Ward was working on distance control, working the jab up and down, and just being very proficient and being aware of what you're doing in the ring at all times. Not just so much just throwing punches and seeing what happens, but putting the power behind your punches and intention behind your punch. That's when you can get the best bang for your buck when it comes to this sport of boxing. Um, Another great thing that I believe David Benavidez does is go to the body. He's not just a head hunting dude. He's been really, really working top and bottom when it comes to power punches. The card is in November 28th, Riyadh season. I forgot to put Riyadh season. Riyadh season. It's a Turkey Al Sheikh production for sure, and it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Y'all need to tune in for sure. Like tune in. Um, this fight is gonna be all action packed, punches and bunches. You're gonna see both using some good boxing skill, but at some point they just gonna fight and go at it. And I believe this is gonna be a hard fight for Anthony Yarde. I believe Anthony Yarde is gonna have to really put his pedal to the metal early and get his respect. Because David Benavidez is the type of person that's going to wind up and punch you hard and just wear you down. That's his style, is to wear you down with shots. And if you use a good jab, a steady jab, a long jab, as Anthony Yarde can do in the middle of the ring and go side to side, throw left hooks to the body, overhand rights to the head. Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. But if he does that, he will be successful. The key to victory for Anthony Yarde is 3 of them. Do not sit in the pocket longer than what you have to. Make sure you throw a really solid 1-2 and get out of there. Be fast enough to move side to side. Don't move too much, but move side to side. And I would say the third thing he needs to do is know when to hold, know when to tie up. So many fighters don't know when to hold and when to tie up. And for somebody like David Benavidez, you have to confuse, you have to knock him off his game and implement your game. You got to be the boss in there. So if he beats the boss in there, he takes out the time to do the necessary things that's going to get him the results that he wants, which is a win, a much needed win. He's going to have to put in the work. Each and every round is going to have to look different. It can't be the same thing over and over again because David's too smart. The reason why I say that, David Benavidez is one of the smartest boxers today. The card is David Benavidez and Haney, right? Or is it separate? No, this is separate cards. Separate cards. I'll have to do more research on Benavidez, me to drop an opinion on him. But yeah, I'm ready for Riyadh season 2. Riyadh season is always a good fight. It's always good energy, and I just want to see the best fight the best. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. We just want to see the best fight the best. And I believe David Benavidez is just too good. I think he's going to throw too many punches and bunches. Um, I believe it's just even from a height point of view. Um, Anthony Yarde is very talented. He's very brave. Don't get it twisted, but I don't think he's going to be ready for the intensity of a David. He's going to train for it and mentally be ready for it, but there's only so much he can do against somebody who's going to really put the pedal to the metal to him and boss him around. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Just draw. Just draws a real one, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button like he did, hit that subscribe button, and tune into the channel, man. We talking some good boxing right here. For the next 25 minutes, we talking some good boxing. So tune in. Um, David Benavidez has one hell of a jab. And I mentioned that earlier. His jab is truly going to be the key. If he can stay on his jab and mix it up and down, and throw the double jab, triple jab, and throw good 1-2s and make it simplify the fight, make it easier for him, he can make this look like a flawless performance. But it's all about what David wants to do. When David gets hit, he goes into warrior mode and he likes to throw a lot of punches and bunches and really, go hard for his Mexican audience and give them what they want. Um, I believe Anthony Yarde is going to have to use good lateral movement, good jabs, good punches and bunches. That means 4s and 5s, ending with left hooks for the 5s, ending with a straight right hand for the 4s. And if he could do that, we could see one hell of a matchup between um, David and Yarde. You know what I'm saying? Benavidez and Yarde. But I want to know from you all, from the boxing fan, who do you truly believe got this fight? Is it David Benavidez or is it Anthony Yarde? What's up, brother? What up? What up? CC Motion. CC Motion's in motion, in transit. What up, man? What is going on? What's going on? Yeah, man, we here to talk some boxing. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button when you come in. And let's talk about it, man. This is one hell of a matchup. One hell of a matchup. And I want to get y'all opinions. I want to get your comments. So comment and give your opinion on what you believe is going to happen. Me personally, I believe that David is just going to dominate. He hasn't shown me no reasons why he can't. Anthony Yarde said he's learning from his losses, but even in a better BF fight, I believe he could have did better with the way you hold your opponent when you're hurt. If he works on that and learns how to conserve his energy for the later round so he doesn't get so gassed, then he can win. But man, he's gonna have to fight a perfect fight to beat David. David is one of them fighters. You have to come in with a hell of a confidence and a hell of a determination. And you really have to believe in everything you say that you got within your soul, within your spirit. You have to be very intuitive and cerebral and have tactics. A lot of fighters are missing tactics. You have to have good tactics. Like I said, you have to be like an Andre Ward could defeat a David Benavidez. I truly believe that. But these fighters today who are very one-dimensional, very up and down, no special effects, or don't know how to simplify things to make it easier for them, it makes it very hard for them to win against a David Benavidez or somebody on that caliber. It makes it almost next to impossible. So to defeat a beast, to defeat the monster that is David Benavidez, you're gonna have to match his intensity and get his respect early and let him know you just can't come in my house. Meaning you just can't come right in my wheelhouse and think you could just throw punches and bunches and think I'm just gonna sit there and allow you to punch on me. You have to use side to side movement and you have to know when to hold. When you start getting caught, because at some point you are going to start getting caught from the onslaught of David Benavidez, him throwing punches and bunches. After that, you're going to have to hold. You got to hold, punch and hold. I'm not going to judge you for it because I know how dangerous David Benavidez is. You have to put the fire out, nullify your opponent. Don't allow your opponent to control you. Otherwise, you're there for the slaughter. It's all about who's there for the slaughter, who's there for the taking, who's there to be pot roast. I truly believe that David is going to impose his will after round 5. It's going to be a David Benavidez fight, and it's going to last as long as it lasts. Until Anthony Yarde shows me something different, this is just what I believe, and this is what I see in my head. If I replay the fight over and over again, about 5 to 6 times in my head, that's the result I get. It's David Benavidez, just too powerful, too many jabs, too many power shots, too much right hooks, jab, right hook, jab, left hook to the body, jab to the body. David, pushing him around, pushing him on the ropes, pound him to the body on the ropes, right hooks to the body. David does it all. Right uppercuts up the middle, jab, left uppercut up the middle. And it's up to Anthony Yarde to counterpunch. Another type of fighter who can beat a David Benavidez is a counterpuncher. And I'm not glazing David Benavidez. It's just, this is the honest truth of what I see. And this is what I know David can do. You know what I'm saying? He's proven himself over time against A-level or even B+ level fighters that he's going to rise to the occasion when it's time. So I'm just waiting on y'all to come into the room and give your comments on what you believe is going to happen. And does Anthony Yarde have a shot? I say he has a shot, but it's slim to none. Lip service is cool. You could talk a good game and say what you think you're going to do or how you think you can do it. But until we see it, all we can go off of is what we seen. The results of your last fight. So y'all let me know in the comments who do you have, why do you have who you have, and is Benavidez just too big, too strong? Is this Yarde's time? Can Yarde get over the hump and get a big win against a very, very talented fighter like David Benavidez, who's going to throw left and rights and lefts all night long and not let up on you whatsoever? You're going to really have to show him that you're worthy of being in the ring with him. Otherwise, he'll run you up out the ring in 4 rounds. So, like I said, y'all in the comments, give the comments on what you believe is going to happen between David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde. I'm going to wait to see what you all have to say about the fight. I believe Anthony Yarde, like I said, he has so much muscle on him. I don't know if he's doing a lot of sprints. I don't know if he's doing the necessary road work, the necessary drills, working on speed, working on hip movement, working on plyometrics, things that can get your speed and get your fast twitch muscles going, because he needs that in training. It can't just be heavy bag, standard sparring, standard double impact. He needs to be moving. He needs to be working on almost like football drills in a way. He needs to be doing those type of things, short sprints, and working on holds, because you're going to have to hold at some point in this fight, and you want to be able to know the 3 ways you can hold. There's 3 dominant ways in boxing you can really hold somebody. 1, grabbing their wrist with your wrist while you're boxing, wait for them to throw a punch and grab both arms. Second way is to do underhooks, going under a person, going under the person and grabbing their shoulder with both hands. And last but not least is the bear hug. The bear hug is coming around. So while he's about to throw, you bear hug him, hold, wait for the ref to push you two away, and getting right back to it. So if you all have anything else to add, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments, man. Anthony Yarde versus David Benavidez is one of those fights that you just don't want to miss. Don't want to miss it, man. You don't want to miss it. Hold on one second. Another thing I would like to add as well is boxing is the theater of the unexpected. So knowing that it's the theater of the unexpected, it's great when the underdog actually shocks the A-list fighter or the fighter that's supposed to win and put on a pedestal to dominate. It's cool seeing it shocks the system, it shocks the mind. It makes things more interesting. When somebody like Anthony Yarde come in there, shock the world with a big left hook. Oh, down goes Benavidez. Now he has to pick himself back up and see what he can do to win this fight. That's what we want to see. You know, Anthony Yarde is in his prime. He's 34. He's only had 2 really bad losses, and it was against high A-level competition. But the running theme is Anthony Yarde can dominate B plus and B level fighters, but when it comes to an A level fighter, especially somebody in their prime, he's shown he can hang with them. He's competitive. He's landing his shots, but it just ain't enough. And he needs to make up in his mind. What do you want to do? Do you want to go out as a legend and get in the best shape of your life and be ready to throw 60, 70, 80 punches around? Or do you just want to mess around, say you got another big payday, fought another A-level opponent, and call it a day? You know, you got to figure out what you want in your life. And hopefully Anthony Yarde is figuring out real early that you're going to have to be Superman come fight night. Certain fighters, you got to be Superman. He was almost Superman against Kovalev. He's right there. Just could not keep his composure. You got to keep your composure. You could be winning a fight. You could be competitive in a fight. But keeping your composure, knowing when to punch, knowing when to, you know, let your hands go, and knowing how to still around and things. These are things that take time. These are things that take development. It takes a lot of good training, a lot of good sparring. And you got to want to do it. You can spar all day, but if you're not learning anything, you're just kind of going through the motions. And a lot of fighters do that. They're sparring, but they're just going through the motions. They're not really positive, or the trainer is not making them positive of what they need to do for that in particular opponent. You know, that's the whole point of having Tunde in the camp. You know, as a Nigerian man, you're supposed to be very intelligent. You're supposed to be very cerebral. You know, Nigeria is a place of warriors. So hopefully Tunde is giving them some type of good encouragement, fulfillment when it comes to his training camps. And is it working for him? You know, is he having the best confidence he can have? We all know Anthony Yarde can take a punch. He's very durable, very strong, but it's just levels to this shit. And I believe David, once he get warmed up, once he get cooking, David Benavidez still fighting like somebody who has a chip on his shoulder. He's still, like I said, young in his prime. So we're getting close to his prime. So hopefully we see a really good fight. I know it's not going to be boring. I know Anthony Yarde not just going to be circling the ring unless he gets caught with something that was a big shot, big blow, and it does make him move around. So we'll see. I got about 10 minutes left for you all. This time has actually went by really fast. I'm really shocked at how fast the time has went by for this stream. So for the new people coming in, I just got a few rules. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. That's pretty much all I need you to do. If you feel like it, if you really like my videos, hit that bell notification icon so you can get all my boxing news analysis and updates. That's always something to keep into consideration as well. David Benavidez is 6'2", Anthony Yarde 5'10", and that's me being generous. He might even be 5'9.5", you know, and that makes a big difference. 4 to 5 inch difference in height makes a big difference when it comes to landing punches. You know, so we will definitely see what's gonna happen. I want to see Anthony Yarde put on a masterful performance and shock the world. But I know in reality, El Bandera Roja, aka the Mexican Monster, he is just gonna be imposing his will all night long. I believe he has a chip on his shoulder still to this day, and I believe David is not gonna be denied. And that's what I truly believe. For the last 10 minutes, people have been asking me, hey, do you believe somebody's gonna get a stoppage in this fight? David is more of a accumulation puncher. Anthony Yarde is more of he can be a one punch knockout artist. He was in his earlier career, but I believe Anthony Yarde is gonna have to put his punches together, just like David is gonna do come fight night. If David is having success early and really hurting Anthony Yarde because Anthony Yarde is not blocking, not doing what he's supposed to do, then yeah. We're going to see pretty much a repeat of what we always see in David Benavidez fights. A guy being competitive for a few rounds and then getting taken out in a few rounds. Because once David puts that heat on you, a lot of people can't stand the heat. They ain't got no fire extinguisher. You know what I'm saying? They can't stand the fire and sitting in that shit until David kind of, backs up a little bit. So we'll definitely see what will happen. Age is not a factor. Well, I don't even believe the knockout losses are a factor with Yarde. I think it's more of you just got to quit having so much respect for your opponents and understand you're here to do a job. You're here for a business. If you ain't putting in the work, if you're not handling the business will definitely handle you. It will definitely show. But Anthony Yarde needs to really take this serious. This is your opportunity. This is your time to shine. So hopefully he takes full advantage of it and just believes in himself. At the end of the day, gotta find a way. There's no such thing as no way. There's a song by Manny Pacquiao in the 80s, the one he used to play that all the time, by that one band. There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. That's a real ass shit. I appreciate all the positivity. Everybody who be dropping into my comment section showing love. I truly appreciate y'all. Y'all do not understand how much I do. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. Y'all some real ones, man. But like I say, thinking back on it, like doing a simulation in my head of how I think the fight gonna go. And I can see it a few different ways. I can see David just showing off his boxing skill and kind of cruise to a 12-round decision. But I know he wants to, make a statement. Make a statement like the other two did, Kovalev and Benavidez, and get that knockout. And the way David Benavidez can get that knockout is through a lot of body work. Yarde does have a good armor shield of having a six-pack, but hey, when you go around that guard, them abdominals, and you hitting that liver, you hitting that kidney, and you shaking up that body, man, it's gonna slow down. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. You got any comments for the last 5 minutes? Go ahead and shoot. I pretty much spoke on this topic in full. I got David Benavidez winning by knockout. It will be a TKO victory in round 8. I think David gonna break him down in 6 rounds. 7th round, he gonna kind of lay off of him, and then either the 8th or the 9th round, he gonna get him up out of there. If Anthony Yarde goes the distance, I will be shocked. I think David is just so relentless, and if he can neutralize David, I'm gonna be impressed and shocked. I would love to see if he can put him in his place, but everybody ain't talented enough to do that. I know he could take some punishment, but like I said, we just gonna have to see come fight night. If y'all can comment whatever y'all want for the last 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes to go, man. Like I said, these 30 minutes just zoom by zoom. I mean, they went by so quick. If y'all just came into the room, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. The topic is Benavidez and Yarde and Benavidez. I got Benavidez round 8 stoppage, TKO stoppage. He's gonna break him down with hooks, break him down with uppercuts. His Yarde likes to dip in and try to throw them left hooks and throw his own hook. So I believe that Benavidez is gonna be just too fast. Yarde has some decent speed himself when he actually lets his hands go and does the right thing. But he does a great job with promotion for sure. And if you have anything to say about the topic, let me know in the comments. When I end this live stream, y'all can still go into the comment section and give your take. That's what I would like y'all to do. Yep, go into the comment section and give your take. Yep, give your take of who you got winning the fight, man. All comments accepted. Y'all got about 60 seconds, man. Y'all got 60 seconds. Y'all got 60 seconds. Y'all got 60 seconds. All right, it's been real, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming into my stream. I will get back to you all with more boxing news analysis and updates. Thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you once again for coming into the stream. Peace.